This is a custom select plus LWB steel space frame in a size small. Latest custom select build, and it has some nice, interesting features to it. Let's see, we have Onyx hubs, Onyx front hub, 150 front hub. The rear hub is an Onyx hub, nice and quiet. See that? Don't hear anything. Four piston brakes, front and rear. So powerful brakes. Now this is a size small, and I'm 6 foot tall. I ride a medium-sized Jones bike normally. That's what I would recommend for me, is a medium, because I designed the medium for me and it fits me well. But this bike, it has a slightly shorter head tube and a shorter reach. The seat angle is still the same as on the two larger sizes. But when I ride it, I still have plenty of room, and it feels a little bit like a BMX bike to me, or more like a BMX bike, because the bars are very close. Yeah, the bars are close, so I can stand up kind of in a BMX way with no weight on my hands. But I can still get full leg extension and climb. Because it has a long wheelbase and a short reach, I can get way far behind this and just lean back on steep things, and it's no problem. Just kind of a different fit. So if you're around 6 foot or less, you can ride this size. It's a small LWB bike, and it has a long wheelbase. The distance between the axles is pretty long, but this doesn't mean that the fit is long. A lot of customers I talked to have thought, at the beginning, they thought the long wheelbase must have also a long fit up here. But the bike is longer, not because it's cut in the middle and stretched wider, it's because the chain stays longer, and because the front axle's out in front more by raking the fork out more and having a slacker head angle. So even though it has a pretty slack seat angle where you can sit back, kind of sit back and relax here, it still has a front wheel way out there. So even with big shoes, like there I am on the ball of my foot, look at all that toe clearance. And this is on a small, this is a small bike with 29 by 3 1/4 tires, and I have that much clearance. I have to get up on the arch of my foot all the way up to here, and now I can just about touch it. It's a really interesting fit. It's a pretty incredible bike. The standover height is lower than the wheels. I like how this one came out. This is our anniversary orange color, Jones orange. Quiet hubs, big powerful brakes, racks in a bag. I have a big stack of spacers here because each time we build a bike, I ask each customer, do you want us to cut it ahead of time or do you want to cut it later? And sometimes we'll decide that we're going to leave maybe 2 inches of spacers, or we're going to cut it all the way flush down low because they want the bar low, or other people will say, just leave it as it is, I'll do it later. And that's kind of how I have this. And it doesn't need many spacers to be upright and high. This just has 2 spacers, but you can see the handlebar is already higher or as high as this seat for a small. Most likely they won't need spacers, but if they want them, they can have them. And if they don't need them, you can either chop this off if you know how, or you can have a bike shop remove it. That's why I leave it there. And on the truss fork, the steer tube is replaceable. So if you cut it really short and then 5 years later you want to have a higher handlebar and a longer steer tube, this whole steer tube can be slid right out and replaced. You can see right down here, the fork is clamping it just like a set of stem bolts. Bolts, bolts, bolts. Loosen all these up and the steer tube slides up or down and can be replaced easily. Dropper, rack, really big tires. Look at the tire clearance. Yeah, let's see. Big hub, big brakes, big rims, carbon rims. Oh yeah, electric shifting. I was skeptical at first with electric shifting, but every time I ride it, it works so well. It just works, it works really nicely. It's very easy. You just touch this little paddle shifter. See right here, one up, down. Let's see. Jones Custom Select plus LWB, small size with the biggest wheel size you can get with very big brakes. Sitting down low with big wheels and big brakes, this thing's just a low center of gravity, high traction machine.